Welcome to the exciting world of urban farming. Look at the fish that is being grown in urban city using the urban farming techniques. We will learn how to use the fish with the nutrients that they provide that the plant needs. We have moved away from our comfort zone to actually learn some of the farming techniques in urban area. We'll start by entering this garden where they are growing the cabbages in sacks. Now, when you look at how these cabbages are being grown, there's also hydroponics. Those hydroponics towers you're seeing there, they're actually used basically to grow the plants without soil. Different plants like lettuce, curly can also be grown, tomato can also be grown using hydroponics. And it's one of the solutions that youths or young people really need to venture into. You can also use this eco-friendly environment, convert the containers and put the plants. These plants are going to be grown using hydroponics, and basically it saves up to 70% of the water usage. So with this kind of farming, you save on space, and you can also do this farming in urban area. You can also look at other farming techniques as I take you through this farming technique. Look at how these containers are being used. That's another way of also growing the crops, but you only grow the crops while using the capillarity. You put something that uh, waters the plant. The plant gets water directly from the containers. So these are crops that are grown with soil, but we have soil moisture sensors that monitor the soil moisture level. The objectives of this Charger Agricultural Resource Center is basically to demonstrate how we can do urban farming. The crops that are grown in the boxes with soil are actually doing very well. You can grow these crops, buy the container, set up, have a greener environment. These are the key things that urban youths needs to venture into it. Grow your own food. You do not need to buy every food from the market. Look at the different types of layout, how you can pile soil and then grow different crops on the small space that you have within the urban area. We will not go into the greenhouse because we do not have space, especially for urban farmers. So we want to maximize the little compound, the space that we have to grow our own crop. These solutions are very sustainable. We also have the mulching techniques of covering the soil to prevent the moisture level from evaporating. So they are used for growing eggplants and other types of crops. So even with these techniques, the process of hydroponics still continues with the way you're seeing it here. The one where soil are put in bucket, those are actually planting it directly in the soil, but in a controlled environment. Now, this is how beautiful farming is. So let me take you the side of aquaponics. You look at the water in those container, the water. Now you see those plants, the lettuce, are actually put on a floating slab that are, and then the plants roots are put in a small container, like the way you're seeing it. Now, this will help you basically to grow these crops, but you need also to apply, because we are using aquaponics, you need to apply fish to provide the water with the nutrients that actually the plant needs. If you look at the aquaponics biological cycle means the nutrients like the nitrogens, the phosphorus, all are coming from the fish, and then it goes into the bacteria, then bacteria converts it into that cycle that actually goes back and the water is being fed into those containers. So that's how the aquaponics units work. So as we move, you can see how other crops are actually doing on soil. But this is a small space, and the soil uh, is actually being decompact. That means the soil have been aerated properly. So these aquaponics are actually very sustainable solutions for most urban farming. Now you can even put on your white shoes and then move to the garden and do the farming. You do not need to do the other hard digging of the soil. So that's the beauty with these exciting urban farming techniques. And of course, we want to encourage youths to start growing their own crops, because imagine living in a world where you grow your own crop in your own space and you do not buy everything. This is actually a game changer for most youths who are interested in saving money, because when you buy everything from the market, it becomes expensive. So look at the tomatoes which are being grown on soil. And this is another way how you can plant your crops in the container or the bucket. Just put soil and make sure that you can actually use sawdust, mix it with the rice grains, and then with some soil, the crops will actually do very well. And that's the beauty with this hydro, with these farming techniques. So we will not take you into the greenhouse, because our interest is to make sure that we learn how we can use the spaces that we have to grow our own crops. Now, what you're learning here basically are four things. You're learning hydroponics farming, which basically farming in water. It's actually a breakthrough. You can grow crops like lettuce, tomatoes, and herbs with nutrient-rich water instead of using the soil. So you're also learning about aeroponics, which is growing in mid-air. And of course, you can grow strawberries, spinach, and others. So as we enter into this greenhouse, I just want to show you the nursery bed where some of these crops are actually grown. Now, this is an ideal uh, greenhouse where the magic works. The seedlings are actually being planted here in these trays, and each tray you use sawdust and you put the seedlings so that they actually do very well. From here, people can actually buy them. In Uganda, you can actually buy these seeds at 200 or 300, those seedlings. And this is at one of the urban farming resource center in Chanja. Now, the other beauty is that, as you see, the other people who have come to buy the seedlings, like for tomatoes and others. But here, as we explain to them that you can actually also grow these crops, these seedlings that you're seeing, using nature perfect cycle, like you growing it with mist or growing it in mid-air. With fish and plants, they work together. So these sustainable approaches allow us to grow crops like kale, lettuce, and even green peppers or peppers, which you do not need to buy everything from the market. Of course, using the fish waste, which helps in providing nutrients, it is always ultimate closed loop system for eco-friendly farming in this controlled environment. You can set up the greenhouse if you have abundant space, and this is the science that we are looking at. But let me explain to you something small about the science of nutrients. Each system that you see within this nursery bed is that the nutrients actually helps to support the plant growth and to make the plants grow while they're healthy. Okay, we can also guide you through the processes like some of these nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, that these crops actually need, and show you how they are balanced carefully in each system to ensure that the yields are quite good and the sustainability helps to produce better yields of the crops. And when you have better yields, you reduce on food security. And this system is actually climate resilient solutions to most farming techniques because you're not depending on to the unpredictable weather, which is very difficult to predict it in real time. And also you're not strained with the drought, the prolonged dryness without rain, which we have seen in some areas like Namibia, Botswana, the southern and the Sudan, and also other part of uh, Senegal that experience actually high, long, prolonged drought. So those are the things that we really want to fight using our urban farming techniques. Now, why the youth needs to enjoy why the youth actually needs to join farming is that first of all, urban farming is fun. Imagine you are growing your own food in a controlled environment. It's first of all rewarding. It is very essential for the youth. Instead of wasting time going to gym to work out, you can actually spend more time in your garden as you look at how the seedlings are being planted in the nursery bed. As you look at that in the environment, focus mainly about what I'm trying to explain to you so that you can join the movement. So to inspire most of the youths in growing their own food by making a difference in the world we live in, because we eat every day. Every time you wake up, you need to eat. So growing your own food gives you the confidence of having your own sustainable urban farms. And imagine you walking into your own farm or greenhouse, you will have that confidence. And in that way, by starting, you will have your own sustainable urban farm. So imagine also growing your own food, contributing to a greener city, and joining a world with a shift towards sustainability and having a sustainable living. Look at the cabbages using the different mulching techniques. And this is some of the benefits that I want you, as we move around this urban farming area, you will be able to learn. So those are the eggplant that are being grown using this controlled environment. And I'm telling you, this space is not even in hectares. It's just a small space that I'm trying to show you how these farming techniques are actually being done in urban area. So if you're interested, you want to create proper link between you and the market, then we will also have more videos and explain to you why it is important for you to also understand the moisture level that helps us look at this area. It's actually, the garden actually looks more beautiful when you organize your compound like this. Instead of only putting the grass on the compound where you have to pay someone to cut the grass, why not convert it? Why not convert that space that you plant grass and instead plant something that you eat? It's one of the most sustainable solutions. You save money, you eat healthy, you know where your crop is grown. In fact, the most important thing is the issue of climate change is the effect to this kind of urban farming. So if you have a situation where you have prolonged dryness without rain, so you need to have a sustainable solution. So urban farming basically offers you some of these sustainable solutions that are exciting, and they help you to adapt to the methods that will always contribute to the greener planet, and of course will help you get the fresh produce. So I know we're about to exit and go to another farm which is not within Chanja. We'll go to Mwarik, which is also another urban area that also does some bit of, actually they do a lot of research in growing crops. They have solutions which are hydroponics, and we'll try to see how the demand for urban farming which is coming because of climate change. And we also want to reduce on the issues of food security, the drought. So be with me, listen to some little bit of music. Now we are in another facility, the hydroponic facility at Makerere University Agricultural Research Institute, Kabanyolo. Now, the beauty here is that as you look at this environment, they have, because these people are doing it for research, those are the tractors which are used for plowing the gardens, but we'll not go into that. Now, one thing that I also want to tell you is that when you look at the youths, the young generations are actually being trained. This is kids or their pupils from some school called Kampala Quality. They have now started taking the kids at their young age to the farm so that they can encourage the youths to join the farming. And this is one of the things that other people outside there are not seeing. But I believe that with this channel, we will try to give you educational informations that will help you understand some of the urban farming techniques. And you will learn actually a lot because as I'm trying to show you here, we're waiting for the in charge of the hydroponics so that he explained to us some of the processes. Because I don't want to make sure that we have interference with the background, I removed the background noise. So you can look at the plants which are being grown. These are other ways of growing crops with soil, but of course in a small environment. Now we are back to the hydroponics. Actually starts from here where they're explaining to you how the nutrients are being mixed, the potassiums, the phosphorus, how they're being mixed. All this uh, all these nutrients that the crop really needs, the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Yeah, so the lady was trying to explain, then we got interrupted a bit because there are some students also who have come to the ask questions on how they can do some of these farmings. But as I show you this environment, these are some of the sawdust that are there. Those are the students I talked about. They're the one who interrupted, but they're also doing their research. They're inside the greenhouse, and that is the house which is actually being supported by COIC, Korea. I will try to get the name very well, but this is actually the field drip system where the other nutrients, I will explain it later. The nutrients actually go through that raw water tank, and then they look at the acidity, the nutrients are put, which are the potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen, the NPK basically. And now this is how the system will literally work. But those are their contact. If you want to buy that actual system, please, I'm not advertising, but I just want you to look at some of the science behind the hydroponics, uh, the hydroponics irrigation. So that is the beauty with growing your own crops. So as you're learning through this educational channel, I believe that you will eventually start growing your own food and then contribute to the greener environment or greener eco-friendly environment. We know we want to reduce on the carbon footprint of wastages that are actually affecting our environment. But these are the sawdust that have already been used. So if they're used, you cannot get better yield. So they're actually packed somewhere. Maybe later you can also reuse them. But you can see how the crops are growing with some of these solutions. Very healthy. You can just pick and then cook. And this is just within a small garden around where you stay. And that is the beauty with this science. So even without soil, you can still grow this crop using hydroponics or aquaponics. We have seen what they're doing. And of course, in our next episode, I'll try to show you how they're also doing it in other places. We want to visit the natural, narrow National Agricultural Research Organization and see also what they're doing. But you can have the onions, so you don't need to buy everything. But this is using the soil technique. So Our call to action is that the youths should actually join farming because farming is more rewarding and farming makes you grow your own food. You live longer, and you see, if you compare our nation with other nations, you realize that in Japan, the lifespan expectancy is around 79 or 75, but in Uganda, people die at 49 or 55. So, and it's also because of what people eat. So, yeah. Oh, but anyway, we also know that the earnings are not very good, but it's really, really important that as we join this kind of farming techniques, we need to focus on how we can grow our own crop. Please, if you really like this video, give us a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe. Just don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's grow this channel. As we grow this channel, we'll have more better tutorials. I am improving on the audio quality, I'm improving on the content, and I believe that most of the videos that I will post are going to be more educational and more sustainable. Please tell us what you need us to do to improve, to make this channel better. We have not been posting content regularly, and we have not been actually concentrating too much onto the quality of the content we post because most of the time is to keep the channel active because we were immersed in some research work where we do not have actually time, and now we're getting towards the 2 months holiday. We can try to post video regularly up to January. And I hope you will like this and this will help you grow your own food. Please don't forget to like. Let's push this channel to 100K subscribers. It really, really heartbreaks me when I post a video and get less than 1K like 1K views. And please follow, like, share the video. Watch the video up to the end. It's very important, it's very helpful. It's what motivates us to create the video. Because when you look at how these contents are being created, you really have to put in mind. Welcome to the exciting world of urban farming. In this video, we dive into the innovative, sustainable farming techniques that are shaping the future of agriculture, including hydroponics, aeroponics, and aquaponics. These techniques allow us to grow our own food in our backyard. Unlike the traditional ways of growing crop on the soil, these modern farming techniques allow us to grow crop with no soil or using mist to mist the roots of the crops, and then also to grow the crops on water. It has become one of the solutions with endless possibilities of cultivating numerous crops with ease of food efficiency and food sustainability. Why urban farming? Urban farming is on the rise. Urban farming is on the rise with the demand for fresh produce and the need for sustainable practices. With urban farming solutions, it presents a perfect solution. It reduces on the need of transportation, long distances, and minimize water usage, and it's a game changer for our today's world. As we delve into this video, what will you learn? You will learn hydroponics farming,